isolation, depression, like dark thoughts, and the dark side of the remote work. Can it be salvaged? Can you work remotely and be not unhappy? Is it possible, Magda? All right. So, welcome to the next episode, 71st or
Yeah,
72nd? Yeah, 71st
21st.
episode of the No Office podcast. Uh, Again, we skipped a few episode numbers right below 70, so it's right now 71. And today we'll talk about hacking remote work, how to get more done when you're working remotely, and if it's actually possible to be productive when you work remotely.
Yeah, because now as there's a lot of discussion about hybrid work and remote work, I can hear people like kind of biased about remote work. It very often seems to be the source of depression and isolation, as you said, in a theatrical way at the beginning. And people think that people who work from home are really isolated and sad, and they are squeezed somewhere between the kitchen table and the sink and the toilet seat, and it's horrible. And we would like to just like break some of those stereotypes and give you some practical tips. Of course, it's not perfect. You can't have everything, but there are many ways to make remote work really nice and productive and efficient and not so lonely.
Yeah, and some of this, some of these tips, and the whole idea for this episode was inspired by Cal Newport. Cal, we're waving to Cal Newport.
Mhm.
Uh, if he's listening, I don't think he is, but if he's listening, Cal Newport, thanks for his amazing books, Deep Work, and So Good They Can't Ignore You, and recently Slow Productivity. Amazing books and amazing podcast. He has a very cool podcast, and in one of the episodes he was talking about his way of hacking remote work, and this inspired us to do this episode to talk about some things that he mentions, but also mention our own experiences and ideas.
That's right. So, the first dark side I would think of would be the fact that when you are working from home, most people think that you are actually unemployed and you don't have work and you are just sitting at home. So, they are not kind of recognizing it, and they are not respecting your focus, and they are calling you in the middle of the day. Your dad will call you asking to help him with, I don't know, with the car, and your mom will call you just to have a chat while she's having coffee at noon, and stuff like that. And that can be difficult because not everyone really can understand that.
Yeah, that's the one thing, and especially I remember when my parents visit me sometimes, and my dad also works in our company, so we both sit with my dad. This is kind of our co-working experience. My dad is here, I'm here. We work in the same room for a while, and then my mom comes over and she just asks, like out of the blue, she just asks us questions, and we're like, we are working right now. Like because she thinks, okay, there's my husband, there is my son, in the same room. um let's ask them some things, and we actually know that we're working, so we are respecting each other's boundaries. Like my father is with his laptop, I'm with my iPad, we work. But she just comes in and she just like asks questions out of the blue, and we were like, huh, we are working. So it's kind of awkward.
Yeah, but I think your mom understands. She knows that you are working remotely. Like she knows,
Yeah, I
and
know she
she's also
knows.
the evangelist. But I don't know. It just works like that. People just
Yes.
when you don't have that entourage with with desks and people and your boss standing above you, it just that's just the feeling that you are not working. So
Yeah.
what are the ideas that how can we avoid it? There's a really good, apart from the rational thing, so you just talk to your close ones and you explain that please don't call me from that hour to this hour because I'm really trying to focus, I'm working. My dad, after like 10 or 11 years, of me working in Nozbe, he got it. Yeah.
It took
But
him a while.
yeah, a decade, whatever. But Paul from our team, he had a great idea because he also had that problem that his parents, who are like elderly people, they would call him regularly during his working hours. And when he didn't pick up the phone, they would text him like really, horrible messages like, please, urgently, call back or something. So he was really stressed out. He thought that maybe there is something wrong, urgency, accident. And then it turns out that, oh, I just wanted to ask you whether you could lend me this hammer or I don't know, anything. So it wasn't urgent. So what he did is he turns his phone into focus mode, but um, there is some setting that lets you unblock this focus mode and let the incoming calls through after the second time one caller calls you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so probably if it's really urgent and someone is once again, okay, he's not picking up once again, then that would go through and that would be really urgent probably.
Yeah.
So that's a good idea.
Yeah. On the other hand, as you mentioned, like your dad, it took him quite a while to understand that you're working. Even though you're at home, it's. I feel like this is a minus. Like people still don't understand this. People still don't take me seriously here. Like here, my neighbors, they think I'm just a stay at home dad. So, and even my children sometimes, like my favorite quote from my eldest daughter, it was like, Daddy, I need to play with you right now. I cannot. I'm working. No, you're not. You're just writing random stuff on the internet. So, yeah. So it's like, I'm not a, lawyer. I'm not a doctor. I like there is no respect. So it's kind of okay. It's kind of okay that you have to get used to it. But as we mentioned, you can work on the boundaries front and explaining. I have this thing. I have the right now you can buy in IKEA these smart bulbs. So like this, you can remotely control these bulbs, so light bulbs. And I have a light bulb right outside of my office, and when the right light bulb is on, it means I'm recording something. And now my kids know it, so they don't barge in to this office because they know that daddy is recording something because there is a light bulb. If this light bulb is not there, then they know, okay, they can come in because daddy is not recording anything. So
Mm.
it's also kind of a visual cue, as you mentioned, that
Yeah, that's
that
really
right
nice.
now
But you
I'm
cannot
busy.
overuse it, yeah, because they would realize very soon that you are cheating if if the light bulb would be on all the time.
No, no, that's why I'm not
Yeah.
overusing it. I have it like this, that I put it on only when so I have this mode, in my home app, that
Hmm.
podcasting, and when
Hmm.
I put it on, automatically this light bulb turns on. So this way, and when I'm done with podcasting, I turn it off, and the whole thing turns off. So so that's why I'm not abusing it. But on the other hand, this way, my daughters know that at that moment, please don't come in.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Uh, Next point is lack of external motivation and the work energy, this vibe that you can probably feel when you are in the open space office or in any kind of office, that you can see that everyone around is working. They are, like looking into their screens and I don't know, maybe wearing headphones and just appearing and looking very busy and very concentrated. So maybe this vibe makes you feel okay, everyone is working, so maybe I will try to work as well. But probably everyone knows that in the circumstances like that, like you are not able to stay focused all the time. So probably 50% of the people who you think they are focused, they are probably checking private email or doing something on social media. But still, this vibe can be really helpful if someone needs this external triggers and external motivation to concentrate and work.
This reminds me of something we mentioned in the last episode of the podcast when we were talking about this, that people were offending me, but telling me that we wouldn't be able to work like you guys because we have to be in the same place, because only when we are in the same place there is this vibe between us and we can work creatively. Otherwise we cannot be creative. So this is like the key to being creative, is that we are in the same space and in the same place. So But I get it. I get it. People are here. People are around you. Uh, you know, when you work from home, you have to self-manage much better. You have to have a good tool like Nozbe to have your tasks and projects and have feedback loops from your people, and in the comments to tasks. This way, you know what needs to be done, and you know what to do, and you are motivated by work. But for me, for example, one of the things that motivate me a lot is um, seeing action in our tasks. Like yesterday and the day before, when I came back from a week long vacation, and I was reviewing all these tasks, all these mentions and all these comments that I was missing out on. I was so inspired and so like motivated by seeing, for example, some of your demos that converted into paying customers. That Yarek, for example, did this cool thing
AI.
with AI for Nozbe.
Mhm.
So spoiler alert, AI is coming, but it's gonna be cool. So he did that. So to me, more than seeing people work, seeing fruit of their work inspires me, and seeing that, for example, that coming back here from the vacation, and seeing that you have all prepared, for the podcast, and everything is ready, so I just have to just catch up and I'm able to record. All these things motivate me to be better and to work better
Mhm.
and to get things done, things that I
Yeah.
see that you're progressing, everybody's progressing. And this way, I don't want to be left out, because I see movement in the tasks, I see movement in the comments, I see
You don't
people
want to be the
showing.
lazy one,
I don't want to be the
unproductive
lazy one.
one.
Exactly. I want to be delivering cool results as well. Hey, I want to be cool too. So
Mhm.
so this
Yeah.
kind of thing motivates me.
Yeah, but someone has to start, right? Someone has to bring the effects first, just to inspire the others. And probably here the counter argument would be that it's really hard to focus when you are all alone in your room and there are plenty of stuff that really seduces you and tries to distract you. And here comes Mr. Nir Eyal, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Hmm.
This is the guy who wrote the book Indistractable.
Yeah.
And he seems to be really irritated by people saying, "Oh, I really cannot focus because there are all those triggers and incoming noise and notifications and social media. I'm a victim of the whole system and I cannot focus." And he, yeah, he says, "Come on, if you are like, you have to find tools to fight those things." And also, there is a nice quote that he wrote: "Being indistractable means striving to do what you say you will do." So
Yeah.
first, okay, generally, all motivation and everything we do or we don't do stems from the desire to escape discomfort, to avoid discomfort and feeling uh, anxious and feeling bad. So, and it's really easy when you are in this position of a victim, that you're a victim of the system, of notifications, of social media. Of course, it's all bad for us, but let's take the responsibility. Let's not avoid believing in the willpower. And
Hmm.
let's start labeling ourselves as having self control, after all. It's difficult, but we can. So, this is a good start just to make ourselves um, mm, accountable and just, okay, to practice self compassion, not to be too cruel and too harsh with ourselves, but not to be a victim of everything around. Because if there are tools to fight
Yeah. I
with
mean,
discomfort, yeah?
and you have much more agency than you believe. Like you can really
Exactly.
do things to help you get in the groove. There are all these small tips and tricks that we have already mentioned on this podcast many times. But this thing of having most of the notifications off, or some of the notifications on, I still don't understand how people can have notifications about likes on the posts on social media. Like how, like why would you do that
Yeah.
to yourself? So also notifications to email, you shouldn't have these notifications. Like you just commit, and this is another thing, when you commit that you will be checking email every 2 hours, then it's fine. Like it's every 2 hours you'll go there. It's like on WhatsApp. I use WhatsApp a lot because Here they use so whenever I am being added to a new group in WhatsApp, the first thing I do is go to this group, mute notifications always, like completely mute notifications from this group, because I don't want to have this deluge of messages coming my way. I will open WhatsApp. I'm using it every day. So, if there are messages in this group, I'm going to get to them, but I don't need to have notifications about them. So it's like this you can do. And of course, we have already been talking about our Super Fridays and about weekly reviews. So, about this whole fact that if you have a good weekly review and you prepare for next week, then you know
Mhm.
what to do next week. Like, if you have a good tool that that has some projects and tasks, you could have a structured day, and you would know what to do. So um it's like, now as a dad, I have three daughters, and they are right now basically teenagers. I mean, two of them, and the third is the youngest, but she's not far off. and and we talk about this, that he provoked me, and I'm like, no, he didn't provoke you. There is no way I mean, do you give him so much power that he can provoke you to do something? You chose to do this because you saw him do that. You made the choice. You can make another choice. So it's like the whole conversation that uh,
Mhm.
about your agency, and about other people or other things not influencing you. you
Yeah.
I mean, they can try to influence you, but you still have a choice. It's your choice to make. Will
Yeah,
you?
it's really difficult because naturally we are programmed to avoid discomfort. So we do
Yeah.
things that will save us from that difficult feeling.
Yeah.
So let's say if you have a really hard task, some report or some long article, something really that will require a lot of mental energy. Of course, you will move to checking emails, work emails, because you want to still be working, not to feel bad about it. Or you will answer to some comments, or you will do something easy. That's natural. But if you try to convince yourself that doing this will bring a lot of satisfaction, that you can divide it into smaller steps, that you can turn off notifications and not check your social media and your email from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Yeah. uh, there are several tricks and several approaches that can lead you to kind of, oh, sorry, that's my dog. Shh. That can lead you to trying to beat this procrastination, this way you escape from discomfort and choose easier things, and choose not to focus and to work, but to do other stuff.
Also, like a practical tip that this is what I do. So every day I start with smaller tasks. So this way I get up to speed. Like, I start doing something, and then from this I start doing the bigger task and a bigger task, and then I do something really big. So it's like, it always, like, you have to find ways that work for you, that help you get motivated and then help you get things done. But
Yeah, and
from
what you said is really great because you said that you are planning. Also, the same guy, Mr. Nir Eyal, he said that you can't call something a distraction unless you know what is distracting you from.
Mhm.
So just you need to. This is also a nice phrase. You need to make time for traction
Yeah.
if you want to complain about distraction.
Of
So
course.
he asks people, okay, you are being distracted all the time, but show me your calendar. And then there
Mhm.
is empty calendar with just the dentist visit at 5 p.m. or 5:30 p.m. and maybe one meeting in the middle of the day. How can you plan your work, and how can you fight with those procrastination and with the urge to avoid the discomfort if you even didn't plan what you are going to do at which part of the day? This is the basic thing. You have to plan your day and create this rational and achievable list of things, blocks of time for your day, and only then you can complain that you are being distracted. But there is a big chance that you won't be distracted because you know what to do, you have nice breaks in between, and this
Mhm.
is so much easier.
Yeah, completely. So yeah, planning, executing tasks. It's and just one last thing, we talked last in the last episode about hybrid, about return to office and all that stuff. So one
Mm.
of the things that what I like about people who work hybrid way, and we mentioned that in the last episode, is that very often they treat going to the office as the most social kind of work, because they interact with people, they visit people, they talk to them, and they have more meetings. But then the day that they stay at home, it's their day for focus. It's their day for deep work, and this way they can turn off the computer. They turn off the notifications in the computer, turn off, turn on the do not disturb, and just focus on the big document, on whatever they're working on.
Yeah, exactly. It also relates to Cal Newport's idea about the fact that when you are working remotely, you can use something that he calls small scale seasonality or intensivity seasonality. So this is the way that lets you, while in the real of in the like brick and how do you say that, anyways, in the physical office you have this atmosphere of work and culture that kind of demands pseudo productivity, and when people are just pretending and feeling pressured to appear busy rather than really get productive. uh, he suggested that remote work allows you to balance this high intensivity when you have to
Yeah.
really work, focus, and go to deep levels of work with something that you can call a recovery day. So when you are making less effort, you are doing lighter tasks, just not to exhaust yourself, and this way you can actually boost productivity.
Yeah, and
So yeah.
yeah, completely. And the thing is also that I think we have proven that people who work from home, who work remotely, they actually, instead of slacking off, they're actually trying to prove to others, yeah, I'm working here, I'm here, this is what I deliver. So they work a lot, and sometimes we have days that are very effective, very efficient, and sometimes but sometimes this means that the next day it's going to be less efficient, because you'll kind of pay the price of yesterday's work. Then today your body and your mind will tell you, I need to relax a little bit. So
Mhm.
this is also important to have for these kind of days, have lighter tasks. uh,
Exactly,
uh,
to manage this, to predict it and to manage it, yeah, to have this
exactly.
balance.
Exactly. This way, even on a worse day, you still are going ahead. You still are doing something. You still are moving forward, compared to these days when you're just so effective and everything is going your way.
Yeah, so there are 4 points that Carl Newport suggested in this short episode as a cure for this thing. First, time block your schedule to different
Hmm.
between deep work and logistic tasks. Then balance heavy and light work days so that you have this kind of sinusoid, instead of spreading tasks evenly to make each day equally productive. Just give yourself chance to have this trend. Then this is a really nice phrase: trade accessibility for accountability.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, focus on deliverables rather than constant availability and being there and pretending to take part in every discussion or chat or email conversation. And another one that you don't really like, Michael: create no meeting days. As for example, Mondays, no meeting days, so that everyone in a company is able to focus and then go to deep work and do something instead of being distracted by meetings and calls and phone calls.
I'm going to explain why I don't like no meeting days, because no meeting days means that on any day you can have any kind of meeting at any kind of time, which I don't like. So in Nozbe, we say meetings are regular, optional, and well prepared. And because they are regular, we can plan our time blocks, our work around them. So, for example, we both know that our marketing meeting is on Tuesdays morning. So we know that on that time we're going to be on the meeting. But then we know that we can prepare our time block for after the meeting, or for example on Monday before the meeting, so to get prepared for the Tuesday meeting. So it's just predictable, and it's easy to predict, and it's easy to plan for. And now, to make it even Because as we work remotely, very often I want to talk about some things with people on our team, and I ask them via messages in Nozbe, hey, do you have availability now? Can we talk now? But I started doing it less, and what I instituted was office hours. So on Thursday afternoon, I have office hours, 2 hours, and it's in our company calendar. Everybody knows that in these 2 hours you can talk to Michael. My Zoom is open, and also I use it as a way to lure people in. I'm like, hey Magda, can we talk in my office hours now about this and this? And then you come in and we talk about this. So this way people also know that um, most likely I will not ask them for a meeting, any kind of meeting
On
apart from these
another
times.
day.
So
Yeah,
on
exactly. And
another
this is
day. So
again, this is time blocking. Again, this is scheduling,
yeah,
and this is just helping yourself to manage yourself in time. Hmm.
exactly. So I think this is a cool thing, and also what you mentioned about accessibility and accountability is again people. I think people are very often mistaken that they are being expected to reply within 5 seconds, but what they are being expected is to deliver things. So if you prove to your superior, to your boss, or to your manager that, hey, I'm not going to reply within 5 seconds to anything you write, but I am going to deliver when I say I'm going to deliver, then they're going to be happy. Like they they
Yeah,
they
probably,
most likely
unless
are
your
not.
work requires instant reactions. But yeah, that's probably, yeah, you will earn more money by doing something than replying to some random and
Oh yeah.
chaotic emails or questions. Okay, you don't
All
have to
right.
reply
So
any emails or phone calls if you are using Nozbe, right? Because everything is there, and this is asynchronous way of working.
yeah, completely, and that's why we have in Nozbe we have project tasks and comments in these for these tasks, and we have also messages in Nozbe, so we can really like have your own team communication within one app, and you don't have to um, you know just be accessible all the time. Even in our Nozbe messages, the messages are bigger to encourage you to write a longer comment and not just hey, enter, how are you, enter, I have a question, enter. And you're like, oh man, what's the question? So anyway, so even that have designed so it encourages like a thoughtful question or a thoughtful message. And we are not alone here. We have thousands of happy customers, and maybe today let's listen to Sarah. We haven't had her for a while.
When we've been around for about 10 years, our business has, and we've been using Nozbe for about 8 of those years. And as we grew, we kind of got to the point where I just couldn't remember everything anymore. I'm pretty organized. I would just kind of keep everything in my head and with post-it notes and things like that. And it just got to be too much. And so I started looking around for some sort of project management software that could help me set up really a trusted system. But really, I just wanted a system where I could know that I had everything in there. I wasn't going to forget anything. I wasn't going to drop any balls for our clients or miss deadlines.
All right. So let's talk about home office, my favorite subject.
Yeah. Another dark side of remote work is the workspace, the limited home office space that regular, not super rich people struggle with. Yes, we usually live, at least in Poland, in, I don't know, apartments, to maybe 2 or 3 bedroom apartments. But if you are at the beginning of your career, you can probably live just in a room, in a rented room, in a shared apartment. So that's really difficult to create your proper, really nice and ergonomic work. I don't know, work home office with proper desk, with proper chair that won't destroy your spine, with microphone, with the second monitor, with a good mouse, and you know this is really difficult for regular people. So that this is the aspect um, when you shouldn't save money on. That's one thing. But there are several ideas to, like, to hack this, or just to find a different solution, not necessarily sit in your home?
So first of all, I think Magda, in because I remember this. Like I remember when I was buying my first apartment, and I remember that we bought a very small apartment, of course. And that's why, if you go back, if you go to my blog, michael.team/office, and you look at my first home office, it was an IKEA cabinet in the corner of my living room. And because I didn't have a special room for my home office. But what I wanted to say is that um, I think that it was also a mindset that we would, like people who would, get an apartment, they would always just think about like what they need now, like without thinking like what they could need a little bit down the line in the future. I remember like my wife's brother was getting an apartment, and he wanted to get only a 3 bedroom a 2 bedroom apartment, and we were like, look man, like you just got married, there'll be kids, whatever, get a 3 bedroom apartment if you can afford it, because you will need it, and you might need it. And then later he actually got a 3 bedroom apartment instead of 2 bedroom apartment because of that, because like you know we didn't know what we need at this point, and we think we don't need so much, we're gonna be less is better. But in that sense it's not, I don't think so. But I remember, even in this cramped space, I managed with my IKEA cabinet, which I could close, which was like the end of work, was a good hack to be able to have a home office, a dedicated corner for my home office in my apartment. So it is doable, and but there are more tricks. Like you can have a co-working space maybe next to your I mean, not far away from your home. This way you kill two birds with one stone, because you can go out on a commute, which is like a 5-minute walk or 10-minute walk. And then you go to the co-working space and you work there. And then you have like your co-working space, which means work. And then you walk back home, and then it's home. So there are things that can be done.
Yeah, but still, if you decide to stay at home, it's really important to try to do everything to separate your life, like personal life, from your work life. So even if you have a small place, you could arrange things. And there are many inspiration and solutions on the internet. I'm sure you
Oh
can
yeah.
find something. People now with DIY and different ideas, just to make this separation. It's very important, because otherwise you will feel like you are constantly at work, and that's not healthy for you. So yeah, various tables, various cabinets, various tables that are like closed and opened from the wall, or I'm sure there are many things. That's important. That this is the aspect where you shouldn't save the money, and probably your employers also can refund some of the furniture or some of the stuff, because if you are employed, probably there is some paragraph that
Mhm.
advises the employer to support you in this aspect. Also
Also,
there is
yeah. So also like the whole idea for me of changing where you work. So like you can take your laptop or take your iPad, like in my case, and do your weekly review in your favorite cafeteria. So this way you work in a different place. And to me, doing a weekly review in this cafeteria means weekly review. It means I have to finish the weekly review over there. And Cal Newport mentions this, that you can even go to a museum or something to get
he
inspired,
calls this
right?
adventure work, and looking for inspirational places or parks or cafes or even galleries or museums that will just change your mindset and help you do the work even better than sitting on your sofa or in your kitchen table.
Completely,
There is
totally.
another way, another tip from Cal Newport, and this is, I think, you are doing it very often by doing sport directly after work.
Hmm.
This is kind of the simulation of the commute, because if you are not working in the office, you don't have this time when your brain switches from the working mode to the leisure mode. And it's nice to have this sharp break, sharp line between your work and your private life. So yeah, it can be sport, it can be short walk, it can be as you said, with your small corner in your first apartment, that your ritual was closing this cabinet and hiding everything related to work, and then doing something else. So that's the simulation of transition. It's needed as well.
Yeah, I mean, for me, just this Monday when I was my first day after a week long vacation, and I it was a very intensive day. So for me, going out and just going for a run was amazing. It was a great way to close the day and to get ready for the evening with family and then for tomorrow. So um, I think walking is anyway a good idea. We already mentioned sometime on this podcast that on some meetings we go out with people. We go out for walks, so we can have a meeting while walking. Right now all our iPhones and smartphones are connected to 5G networks, so we can really have a great connection, great audio, great video, and just walk around, talk to people, and if you have Nozbe on your phone, you can have access to all the information you need. So if you have to look up something, you can still do it on right on this phone. So this way, the meetings are not so stationary. And especially, I think if you want to just talk over something with somebody, it's even better because the pace walking stimulates you to actually make some decisions and just have a better conversation.
Yeah, when you are on the move, on the go, your brain is working in a different way and probably is aspiring information quicker. Okay, another dark side that is being mentioned is um, the way people who work from home are kind of afraid to take their time off, or they are afraid to go to sick leave. I think it's called presenteeism or something like this. And this is the way that you feel you should be present all the time, that you should be present, seen, and that the fact that you are working remotely is already a bonus. So you shouldn't ask your boss to take some days off because you if even if you are sick, you won't infect anyone by coming to the office because you are working from home. You won't be sneezing on people. You don't have to commute, so your fever won't get worse. You can just sit in your blanket in your bed, but still be working. And I think this is dangerous. This is dangerous, taking your work with you when you are going on the vacation, because it's okay, I'm working remotely, I will take my job with me, I will be working a lot, and then I will be just mm, having fun in the evenings. But that shouldn't work like that.
Unless it's a choice. Like for Emilia on our team, she travels a lot with her husband, and she clearly states which days are her days where she does work, even though she's traveling, and which days are the days where she's sightseeing and she's not working. So, like, she takes it kind of very consciously that on these days she's working. But then on these days she's taking the days off. So this way, also we know when we can reach her, and when we shouldn't reach her. Also in our team we had these moments where people were sometimes working when they were very, very sick, and we told them, like, come on, just just close the laptop, like, go away. Just relax, take care of yourself. So it took, I can tell you, it took some time to for everyone to understand that we can do this, like we should do this, we should
Mhm.
not be afraid to take time off.
Yeah, probably that's also depends on how your boss is and how your boss sees that.
Of course.
Speaking of Emilia, because you mentioned Emilia, yeah, she's amazing. She travels a lot, and she also gave us her tip. Mm, it's related to time and to the way you can have flexible working hours when you are working from home, because sometimes she lives in Poland and then she's working in the regular hours, because most of us are in this Central European time zone. Mm, and so she wakes up really, really early, and then she works until 3 p.m. But then she often moves to Taiwan. And then when she is there, she adjusts her schedule to align with us here in Europe.
Yeah.
So what she does, her mornings, uh, when we are deeply asleep, fast and asleep, uh, she's doing the deep work. So she's replying to customer emails, she's doing some strategic work and some like deep work. And then she takes time off. She goes to she eats something, she's having lunch, she's doing some sports, only to come back to work. It's evening there, and we and then we are already awakened, and we are working here in Europe. So she can mm, dedicate maybe 2 hours or 1 hour and a half or 2 hours to stay in touch with us and to be more interactive. So this is, as she said, this is not a problem for her. This is just adjusting this rhythm. It's easy for her, and she appreciates this flexibility.
Yeah,
So
I mean, to me, it sometimes looks like she never sleeps because she replies to messages like at 2 a.m. my time, and then at 3 p.m. my time. So it's like, does she ever?
but, yeah, I'm sure she would say if that wouldn't be okay for her. So
Yeah,
it's,
no, I'm sure.
don't
I'm
feel
sure.
bad.
But it's just so cool that she can do that actually, and very often when she's in Poland, she's a very early riser, and then when she's there, she's not. She's doing it differently. So it's cool, and I like it. I like how
Mhm.
how this way, even when we are 9 hours apart, we can still have a meaningful overlap to be able to work together.
Mhm. Yeah. The last thing probably that I would like to mention is the way people say, "Oh, when you are working from home, you have so many distractions, like homeworks." Actually, you are really tempted by the washing machine or dirty floor, and you said, "Okay, I will do some work," and then you do breaks and breaks and breaks just to do some homeworks, and then it turns out that to be honest and to be fair and to really work the 8 hours that you have in your contract, you will be in front of the computer until 7 p.m. or something like that. So I have my own system to avoid it. But honestly, yeah, this is possible because I'm not working full time, like 8 hours, but maybe seven. I think it's 7.5. So I have right to work a little bit less according to my contract. But what I do is I invented my own Pomodoro technique. Probably you all know Pomodoro technique. This is the way you work for 25 minutes and then you have a short break, then again working session, and then short break again. And after several working sessions like this, you are allowed to have a longer break and then restart the short breaks again. And I modified it a little bit, and my breaks are a little bit longer, but they involve doing the homeworks. So
The
my
chores.
first break, yeah, exactly. My first break is maybe like after 1 hour and a half or 2 hours of work in the morning. This is when I'm trying to arrange and tidy up our flat after the morning chaos when kids are leaving to school, when my son says, "Okay, mom, I won't be washing this plate after my breakfast because I'm in a hurry." So he leaves it somewhere in the middle. Then someone mm, leaves the clothes in the middle. Someone, oh no, it's a huge chaos. So, and I prefer to work in the neat place. So my first break is just tidying up this chaotic mess after the morning rage. It takes me like maybe 10, maybe 15 minutes. Then my second longer break after working sessions is is either going out to buy some food or doing some, I don't know, paying bills or checking something something related to my home and to my personal life, but during my break, legal break.
Yeah.
And then I have my third break dedicated to cooking lunch or cooking dinner,
Mm.
like whatever. And yeah, I'm preparing food. It takes me like 20 minutes or something like this. And then I'm done with all my responsibilities as mom and as a housewife and as my person who lives with the family. And also I'm done with my work probably in time, and I'm not cheating with the working hours because I take my breaks. I only dedicate them to my core chores.
Magda, I think we we missed the whole opportunity of a good headline here. Like we have here remote work, burnout, depression, isolation, or maybe we have this other remote work hacks, get more done in less time. I think
Lunch ready.
we have a much better headline. Remote work. Is Magda tempted by the washing machine?
Yes, sometimes my second break is doing the laundry.
Like there is so much in
It's
there.
very tempting, it's very tempting. With this washing
Washing
liquid that smells so nicely.
the washing machine is flirting with you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, completely.
Do you have any other tips or hacks or ideas that we can share?
Yeah, I have kind of the same routine in the morning. So I also first throw my kids out of the house to the school bus, and then I start to work. And then after also like maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half, I go to the kitchen. I make myself a cup of coffee and I clean up the kitchen. I clean up some stuff. Maybe I have a late breakfast. It depends if I had breakfast like right there with them or if not. So it's like it also gives me a natural break after the first stint at work to just gather my thoughts as well and just get ready for the rest, and of course having the coffee, having a little bit more energy down the line. So I also have something like that, and I find this nice, and especially in the morning after everyone's out, it's so quiet, it's so nice. So so it kind of motivates me to, and after that, oh, now I'm gonna get something done. So it's like it's a kind of a natural break, and I like it. I love it. So I this is another aspect. We are both extroverts. We like people. We like hanging out with people. But as an extrovert, I also appreciate this moment when just there's quiet and I can just focus on my thoughts, focus on my work, focus on things I have to do. So there is a benefit to that.
Sure. So remote work can be really productive unless you not put yourself in place of a victim of a system and with no willpower, with no strength to overcome procrastination and all the temptations from the washing machine to social media and other distractors and triggers, and just look for your ways to make it productive and to make it not so not so stressful or not so, I don't know what. It can be really productive if you just work, if you're just not looking for some golden rules, super hacks. Just sit and work. That's the best advice.
Yeah, the basic thing, the basic thing we said, on a Friday, do a weekly review, prepare your week. On Monday, you will know what to do. You will have
Schedule it.
you schedule it. You schedule your time blocks, as Cal Newport suggests. And we will have a whole episode about my weekly template, because I think this is something that we also have to talk about, how we can plan the week so that we have this seasonality and take advantage of the seasonality, like things that I do on Mondays or Tuesdays, or which part of day what we do. All these things can be taken care of, and this way it's kind of the work flows, you flow, and you feel that you're achieving something, that you're doing something, that you're getting things done. And of course, to get things done, the best way is to use Nozbe and to put everything in projects, tasks, and comments. But you knew that already. But if you still haven't had an opportunity to try Nozbe, or maybe you were using Nozbe before but haven't tried the new one, and now it's a great moment to give it a try. We have a special gift for you. So if you use the special link, which I'm about to mention, you can use the money that we give you when you sign up for a free account, that you can upgrade to premium for 3 months almost. So take advantage, and see you and hear you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Thank you for being an amazing listener of the No Office podcast. Every other Wednesday, we meet to talk about productivity and hybrid lifestyle, because we believe that work is not a place to go. It's a thing to do. As a special gift only to No Office podcast listeners, when you sign up for Nozbe using this link, nozbe.com/podcast, you'll get $30 of credits, which you can use to upgrade to Nozbe Premium. Nozbe helps thousands of smart business owners and their teams get their professional and private life organized in a single app in a simple way. And Nozbe is free for up to 3 active projects and 3 people on your team. So start today and claim your free bonus credits, which you will later need to upgrade to unlimited projects. Once again, thank you for being an amazing listener. Thanks for your support and for spreading the word about our No Office podcast and Nozbe. See you and hear you in the next episode, and in the meantime, claim your bonus credits here.